Okay, Aquarius, we're here to do your reading. First thing we're going to do is pull your pieces, roll the dice, see what they are. I looked at your astrology, and I'm sure you probably know way more than I do about it, because you're considered the astrologer of the zodiac. Some other interesting things about Aquarius is you're considered, on the one hand, very inventive, and on the other hand, very rebellious. Well, that can definitely go together. Your scent or your plant for your sign is pine. I love the smell of pine needles. When I first left Jersey to go to art school in San Francisco, I was kind of sick of the flat landscape and just a lot of things. And now, after coming back to the area, I realized how much I missed the pine needles and the smell of pine. And I also love the smell of resin, which is basically a natural product that comes out of trees. So anyway, I'll get on with your roll here. If you hear that noise in the background, seems to start and stop. I'll wait a second. What do we need to know for Aquarius? What messages does Aquarius need to hear? Here you go. First piece. We got 0, 1 in reverse. 1 in reverse. 1 in reverse. It's the second piece. Use the other hand. Too many reversals. I want some uprights here. Spirit. How about some good vibes for Aquarius? Air sign. We got that same damn 0 again. 8 in reverse. I had to blot out one of the zeros because we only have 79 pieces, and that was an 8. Alright. Third piece. Another upright. 25 upright. Good. 2 more. That was a lefty. Let's do a left again. That's upright too. 17 upright. Only one more. One more for Aquarius, please. Oh, reverse. We got 16 in reverse. The previous one was 17 upright. Okay. I don't know how these correlate to the pieces without seeing them. I have to go to the box and count, pick them out. And I'll come back and we'll do your reading. Oh, I forgot. I pulled this piece, the 7 of Swords, the snakes you see on the right hand side, for something to look at while we went through your roll. This is not your traditional depiction of it. Usually it's a man, a younger man, with some swords in his hand, going to sneak away with those swords while the enemy isn't looking. It also has to do with the moon, but it could also be, because it's an air sign, it's also as much about ideas, more about ideas, words. Could be about politics, actually. Could be all kinds of deception, saying one thing and meaning another, misrepresentations, confusing speech. We have some of that going on right now, don't we? Okay, so I'll go get the pieces now. Okay, I'm back with your pieces. I always recommend you take a look, even stop the video. Just look at the images in front of you and you can come up with your own scenario or story. All these pieces are based on traditional tarot cards, but I did take a lot of liberties. First thing I'll do is I'll just go over them real quickly. The first one on the bottom left, the volcano, that's the Prince of Cups. I want to point out that you see those little U's there? That's to indicate that those pieces are the upright pieces and that everything else you see is in reverse. So the Prince of Cups, same as the Knight of Cups, is in reverse. That's a Pisces piece. The timeline goes from Aquarius, your sign, through to Pisces, February 9th to March 10th. Unfortunately, in reverse, this normally brave, good knight is a pretty bad character. He's not warlike, but more of like a fake or a fraud. I hate to even talk about these things, but that's what it is. The second piece in the center, it's another prince. This time the Prince of Pentacles, Virgo and Leo, which is your opposite. It's a brave knight, brave prince, but idle. Signals that somebody is stuck. He or she has a lot of bad qualities besides being lazy. They can actually be mean, jealous, even violent. Third piece on the far right with the two X's, that's Judgment, Pluto. Pluto is about power and transformation. This piece is upright. I consider that great. Major arcana, very, very strong energy. Judgment quickly is about the truth, secrets that were hidden coming out. Could mean a decision needs to be made because Pluto is also about transformation. It's not a great thing to have for love, but for spiritual matters, it's a good piece. Same as a good card. In the back you see the bowl of cereal, the little spoon, and the hearts. Hearts stand for cups in the tarot. That's Scorpio. That's the Ten of Cups. It's kind of like the Bliss card. Happy family, happy home, love, respect in the community, even spiritual fulfillment. Of course, after doing the work. This isn't upright, so that's great. You have two really great pieces here. You have a 10 and two court cards, closely related, moving, upward. And the last piece in the back, the little green elephant with the bucket and the spoon, represents kids' toys on a beach or in a sandbox. That's the Six of Cups, Scorpio. It's in reverse. It is Mars. Mars can be about fighting. In upright, it's about children, about nostalgia, happier times. In reverse, it's more like thoughts of the past getting in the way of moving forward. Or even could mean something about somebody being immature. So we have lots of cups, which are about love and emotions. We have two princes, knights, same thing. One earth, one major. No air. I don't see any fire either. Okay, so move on to your reading, from my perspective, what all this means. So obviously some problems going on with these two knights who are in reverse. Bad energy. You have the slower energy of the Knight of Pentacles and the explosive energy of the, as you can see, represented by the volcano. That's the Knight of Cups. So explosive emotions, really, or some kind of disruption in love, or something's definitely going on. And the other reversal is in the back, the Six of Cups, more about emotions. So all I'm saying is there's some kind of problem in the back. We do have a major, so this spread does have some strong energy. So I'm going to tell you how I arrived at my idea here. I'm not real big on meditation, but today I took a little time in the morning, sat in quiet and just tried not to think about much and see what would come to me. And I kind of had two images, my eyes closed. I thought about hands being bound. They kind of look like handcuffs, but they weren't traditional handcuffs. They almost looked like black chains or something like that. Then I waited a little longer and I saw quickly a little key. Somebody being bound, held back, but there's a key there. To me, it would probably signal or mean that there's a way out, that you have the key, that somebody has the key. Then the other thing, I'm big on saying trust your intuition all the time. And I have to practice what I preach. So another thing that kind of caught my eye, another little thread, is that I opened Tumblr just to take a look because I follow a lot of art sites on there. And Tumblr focuses on images more than anything else. And the image at the top was Esther at the Gates of the Castle by Botticelli. I didn't go any further. I just kind of looked at that, a painting I hadn't seen by him before. And I thought, Esther, the Bible, I kind of vaguely remember. I went to Catholic school as a kid and have an interest in religion and spirituality, but I didn't really remember it in detail. So anyway, I'm going to kind of use that as the jumping off point for this read here. I don't know if you know this story or not. I'm not going to go over it in great detail. I'm going to kind of try to tie it to this. Although Esther tragically lost her parents as a child, she ended up in the happy home of her older cousin, Mordecai. So it's a happy home, like the Ten of Cups. Happy family, happy home. They really had everything. You know, they needed the basics. Probably cereal too, right? But definitely she had love. A loving environment. It was a Jewish community that she lived in. Very close. She grew up to be exceptionally beautiful as a young woman. You know, her image is used a lot in paintings by artists both famous and not so famous. Maybe because the story is so interesting. Because her family was Jewish and living in exile at the time, things were good, but they weren't perfect, far from it. Through a strange set of circumstances, she was led, I say led because I think divinely, to her becoming the queen of the land. The king had a kind of contest to find a new wife, and he ended up being, I guess, mesmerized by her. But she had to keep the secret that she was Jewish, or she would have never been chosen. That's a secret, and the Judgment piece relates to secrets and them coming out. Things have to come out before judgment can be made. The king's top advisor, I look at him as the bad knights here. He was somehow gravely insulted or offended by Esther's guardian, Mordecai. He got permission from the king to kill all the Jews in his kingdom. It was a secret, but the secret came out to Esther. Somebody heard two guards talking. You know, they had it all planned. They were sending out armies to do the job, to do the dirty deed, disgusting deed. But because she found out and she did have access to the king, she was able to turn it around. And that's pretty much karma right there. Karma also has to do with judgment. So anyway, I think that pretty much sums this up. Maybe there's something in that you can relate to. I mean, it's really a story of some bad characters trying to do something wrong and getting caught at it. And when they got caught at it, oh, did I mention that the king's advisor was put to death himself instead of the Jews? Yeah. And then the other things here I would say is, don't let memories and nostalgia and things of that sort block you from moving forward. That seems to be what I would call the block here. So I think, we could pull a couple cards. I think I'll use Moonology today. It comes with the cards. Llewellyn is the author, and Llewellyn is the artist. I think I'll go to the book and read one of these. I can get them to stay. The camera again. Beautiful, aren't they? Look at it. Look at those. Those moons are so beautiful, and they have symbology there. Capricorn has the ram. Libra, justice. Justice is like judgment. To me, they kind of go together. What do you think? All right, let's pick one. The end of a tough cycle approaches. I want to go with that one. Capricorn, Earth. It's a full moon. They're both full moons, too. There's more than full moons in the book. I'm going to open right to it. I love when that happens. Okay. The end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you're wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of a rough time is forecast. This card also asks you to consider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. Yeah, you don't want to be ruthless like these two knights in reverse here. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever the situation you're asking about, making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize it more. There's a little section called, here, I'll show you this, by the way. You can screenshot it. That's part of what I just read. This is the other part. You can come back to it if you like what you're hearing. And this is, I'm going to end here. Attune to the moon, release control, and trust the universe. I love that. I try to live by that. It's very hard to do that. Oh my God. All right. Additional meanings for this card. Professional project may be ending now. Admit if you have been overly hard-headed or hard-nosed. Find a balance between your personal and private lives. Really important. So many people just work and work and work, and there's nothing left to give for love. It's time to stop fearing the worst. It's time to stop fearing the worst. Okay, I think we got a good reading. What's that there? Hope you found some things you could use here. Little bits and pieces of messages that you can tie together with other messages you get throughout the day, like me, social media, something sticks out of all the, other crap that's out there. Or take some time to meditate. It is great. It's another thing everyone says to do, and it's, for some reason, it's just hard to break that little thin veil to do it. Okay, thanks for coming. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Love ya.